Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to learn about 5 common phrases, and this is just the first video, the first episode. We will have more common phrases in the future. We will learn many Spanish phrases for sure. And yeah, today we're going to talk about 5 common ones that you must know for sure. You you must know because they're so freaking common and they're really helpful. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. I want to give a big shout out to our Cafecito members: Lucas S., James Mullin, Robert Green, Ralph Marquez, Brianna L., Ruby Brockenberry, Christopher Michael, William Lopez, Gregory Ramirez, Michael Lee, and David Beaver. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate it. El cafecito está delicioso. Muchas gracias. If you like what I do, you can also support this channel by getting this cafecito membership. Essentially, you're just buying me a cup of coffee, and that also supports this channel. There's perks when getting it as well. So if you want to know more about it, it's very cheap. I think it's less than $3 a month, and that really helps this channel. So if you're interested, you can check that out. You only need to click on the join button down below, and you're gonna read all the information about this Cafecito membership. Okay, let's go. Let's learn these 5 phrases, these common phrases. And yeah, of course, let me just do this. Once again, thank you, Cafecito members. And remember that I am live streaming. So if you want to, if you want to ask questions about Spanish, about what we're learning, please feel free to do so. You only need to, you just need to use usually you need to subscribe, which is free, but today everybody can use the live chat. So feel free to do that. Excellent. So let's get started. 5 phrases you must know. Why? Because they're common and they're helpful. So let's learn the first one. Let's learn the first phrase. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. Hang on a second. There it is. Más claro que el agua. Que el agua. Más claro que el agua. What does this mean? What does this mean? You know what agua means? Do you know what claro means? Más means more. Claro means clear, okay? Que means that or what. El, the, agua, water. Okay, so let's see what this means. The literal meaning, it literally means clearer than water. Sorry about that. And the meaning is what's wrong with me? Sorry about that. The meaning is crystal clear. Okay. Más claro que el agua. Más claro que el agua. Clearer, well, that's the literal translation, clearer than water. Más claro means clearer. And que el agua, well, we're comparing, okay? So you're saying that something is clearer than something else. Que el is similar to saying than in this situation. Water, agua, we're saying that, right? So something is more transparent, more clearer than water. Okay, so if you want to say in Spanish that something is crystal clear, you can use this phrase. Okay, so let's look at some examples using this phrase. Okay, the first example is: lo que dijo Miguel fue más claro que el agua. Lo que dijo Miguel fue más claro que el agua. This means what Miguel said was crystal clear. So whatever Miguel said was very, very clear what he wanted or what he just said. So let's break this down. First, I would like to show you where the phrase that we're learning is, which is right here. Okay, so at the end of the phrase. Más claro que el agua. In some situations, you will have to change claro to feminine or to plural. So it depends on what you're saying. We'll see another example, that has that specific thing. Okay. Lo in this situation means it. So whatever Miguel, it, he said something, the idea is it. Okay. Lo means it, means him, means you in some situations when you are very polite, very formal. So it can be a pronoun. So it's a pronoun, and it's a very good one because if you want to say, it, you can use this, but you're using it very vaguely. So you're talking about an idea, whatever Miguel said. Okay. Lo que dijo. Okay. Lo que dijo means what Miguel, no, what? We don't have Miguel there yet. Said, what said. So lo is similar to saying what, right? You're just talking about an idea. And then dijo, él dijo means said. Okay, in this situation, dijo goes with Miguel because Miguel said it, right? So Miguel dijo, Miguel said. But in this situation, we put it first because we're just saying something that Miguel said, okay? So lo que dijo Miguel, what Miguel said. Fue comes from the verb ser, okay? And it means was. Okay? Lo que dijo Miguel fue, and then we have the phrase, más claro que el agua. So usually when you use this phrase, más claro que el agua, then, when you use it, you usually place it at the end of the sentence because you're referring to something, right? An idea, what someone said, whatever someone wants is crystal clear. So it's very similar to using crystal clear in English, but más claro que el agua, it's kind of like the similar idea of that idiom, okay? Lo que dijo Miguel fue más claro que el agua. What Miguel said was what am I saying? Crystal clear. I don't know why I'm having an issue pronouncing crystal clear. There you go. Crystal clear. Excellent. I'm sorry. Okay, so remember that. That phrase means crystal clear. Now let's look at some other example using the same phrase. Mis instrucciones fueron más claras que el agua. Mis instrucciones fueron más claras que el agua. Okay, so this sounds like someone is a bit frustrated because someone is not following some instructions, and this person is saying, hey, I think my instructions were crystal clear, but let's look at the translation. My instructions were crystal clear. Okay, so yeah, if you're talking about, as I said before, idea, something you want, instructions, you can use this specifically to refer to something that is very clear, very obvious, very clear, very like someone explained something really well. Okay, so mis instrucciones, by the way, you can see the phrase at the end again. So it's very common to do that. Now, mis means my, but plural. Why? Because we're talking about instructions, not one instruction. We're talking about plural noun. Instrucciones. So this is a very cool word to pronounce in Spanish. I like it. Instrucciones. Okay? Sounds kind of Italian, I gotta say. Mis instrucciones, my instructions, fueron is the same as fue. Okay? So past tense, and we're talking about the verb ser. Mis instrucciones fueron, per the tense, were, my instructions were, fueron means were, más claras que el agua, crystal clear. Now we're having here something different. We have claras. Why are we using claras in this situation? In this situation. That's because instrucciones, we're talking about instrucciones, instructions. That word looks feminine. Masculine, sorry, but it's actually feminine. Las instrucciones. So therefore, we need clara, and also it's plural. We have the letter S here. So that's why you need claras. Claras. Las instrucciones claras, okay? Mis instrucciones fueron más claras que el agua. You cannot say mis instrucciones fueron más claro que el agua because it sounds a bit odd. Remember, you have to match gender and also the amount, quantity in Spanish, singular, plural, feminine, masculine. So you need claras, not claro. So pay attention to what you're talking about, you pay attention to the noun. And that's going to give you a reference of what you need to do, right? In the first example, we can see that we're just talking about it, it. That's why we can leave it as is, más claro que el agua. But here we have a clear noun, feminine and plural, and that's why you have to change claro to claras, okay? So that's good. It's not that difficult, but you gotta practice for sure. Remember, más claro que el agua means crystal clear, and it's very similar to that. The funny thing, though, is that we're talking about water. It makes sense, right? It's nice to see some clear water, for sure. Similar to crystal clear. Crystal, glass, right? It's very clear. You can see through that. So I guess it's quite similar, but a bit different. Okay. Excellent. Oh, by the way, cristal in Spanish is glass, but the the spelling is a little bit different. Vidrio, well, you can call it cristal, vidrio, okay? So I'm just gonna put it here I'm just gonna put it here so you know the spelling, not because it works for this phrase. So cristal. And it's also masculine, el cristal, okay? And also glass is vidrio, but we're talking about the material, okay? We're not talking about a glass of, just a glass of, for example, a glass of water. That's vaso. But anyways, I just wanted to say that. El vidrio, that's also masculine, or el cristal, right? So that's glass. But anyways, you don't need that for this phrase. I just wanted to let you know the meaning of glass in Spanish, how to say glass in Spanish. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so don't forget about this phrase. It's a very common one. And this phrase is going to make you sound very fluent in Spanish. It's going to take your Spanish to another level for sure. Okay. Any questions? Remember that you can use the live chat if you have any questions. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Remember, today we're going to learn 5 phrases. So this is phrase number 2. Very common phrases. I said that a lot. I already said that a lot. Anyways, meaning, or rather, phrase number 2. Echar una mano. Echar una mano. What does this mean? Echar una mano. Echar una mano. Mano means hand. La mano, the hand, or just hand. Una mano, a hand, right? Echar is a verb, and it means, you'll see, because I'm going to show you the literal translation of echar una mano. The literal translation is to throw a hand. That's the literal translation, but it doesn't mean that in Spanish, okay? This means to pitch in, okay? So to pitch in, just to help someone to do something. Echar una mano. Echar una mano. Echar means to throw. It's one way of saying to throw, because you can also say aventar, okay? But echar is also another way to say to throw. Okay? Excellent. So now let's look at some examples. We should talk about echar in the future because it has quite a few meanings for sure. Echar de menos, for example, that's another common thing to say in Spanish, and that means to miss someone. Okay, so yeah, we will talk about echar. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's look at some examples using echar una mano. Todos echamos una mano para limpiar la casa. Todos echamos una mano para limpiar la casa. Hello, Leah. Yes, it's similar. Echar una mano is similar to, give someone a hand, lend a hand. I believe that's also similar to saying that, to help, to help someone out. You want to help someone with something. So, echar la mano, to pitch in. For example, todos echamos una mano para limpiar la casa. This means we all pitched in to clean up the house. Huh. That's good. This is all about helping someone to do something. Okay? We're not talking about anything else other than that. Okay? Todos, let's break this down. Todos means we, in this situation, we all. Todos. You can also say todos nosotros. That would be the literal translation of we all, okay? Todos nosotros, but it's too long. And I mean, if you want to say it, feel free to do so. It's correct. But if you want to, say just we all in a very short way, you can just say todos. Todos echamos. Echamos, we have the verb echar right here. Yo echo, tú echas, nosotros echamos, okay? So we all pitched in, but hang on, it's not complete. Echamos una mano. So keep in mind that you will have to conjugate this verb, and it's not a difficult verb. I'm just gonna double check if it's regular or irregular. It's actually regular. So it's a very easy verb to conjugate. It doesn't have any irregularities. So that's something good. That's something really good. Todos echamos una mano. We all pitched in. To limpiar. Limpiar is a verb, and it means to clean up or just to clean, okay? The casa, that's a very common word that I'm pretty sure you know this word already, and it means house, la casa. Todos echamos una mano para limpiar la casa. We all pitched in to clean up the house. Okay, so that is a very interesting thing, and it's a really good phrase to say. It's always good to help someone out if they need some help, for sure. And it's a simple example, and it's not too difficult to use. Once again, you only need to conjugate the verb echar. Now, let's look at the next example. Cuando compré esta casa, todos mis amigos me echaron la mano para arreglarla. Cuando compré esta casa, todos mis amigos me echaron la mano para arreglarla. Okay, we're talking about a house again, but they're doing something else. Los amigos. So the meaning of this sentence is, when I bought this house, all my friends pitched in to help fix it up. Okay, so maybe the house was falling apart. The house needed some fixes. So you can say that. You can say that someone is helping you to fix your house. And let's break this down. We have the phrase right here. You can say la mano as well. Echar la mano or echar una mano. So both things work. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna put that there as a reference for sure, and for you. Okay, so we have the phrase right here. Let's see how this works. Okay, let's see how this sentence works. Let's break it down. Okay. Cuando means when. You can use it by itself But if it's a question, it needs an accent on the letter A. ¿Cuándo? ¿Cuándo? When? But if it's just like that in a sentence, then it doesn't need the accent mark. Compré, yo compré, you don't need yo, okay? So compré means I bought. Present tense, past tense, it already happened. Cuando yo compré esta, this, you know this word, casa, house, todos, we see it again, we saw it here, we see it here again, todos, all, you can say todos mis amigos. This phrase right here, todos mis amigos, means all my friends, okay? You can change this to amigas, amigos, friends, masculine, amigas, friends, feminine, okay? The singular form is amigo, masculine singular, amiga, feminine singular. Todos mis amigos, all my friends, all my friends. Mis, we're using mis, it means my, because we're saying amigos, plural, okay? That's why we need mis amigos. Todos mis amigos, all my friends. Me echaron la or una mano. Pitched in. Now, why are we using me and not something else? Why do we have me? Okay, why do we have me there? That's a question. That's a question. Do you guys know? Me echaron. That's me is a pronoun and it means me. Okay, so technically you're saying they helped me. Okay, so you need me echaron, me echaron. Me echaron la or una mano, so they helped me or they pitched in to help, para, to, arreglarla. Arreglarla, well, first we have arreglar. Arreglar means to fix. So, you know, to help, they pitched in to help fix it up. So we have help here again, but we don't have it in Spanish. To help, we don't have it. Para ayudar, you can have para ayudar a, you can add that, but you really don't need it. But if you want to be very, I want to translate word by word, sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't in Spanish. But technically you have help here, but we don't have it in this sentence. So let me just do this because it's too much red. Para ayudar. You can say that. But it sounds redundant though, because you already have echar una mano. I don't know. You don't need it. I'm just trying to figure out if you need it in Spanish, but you don't need it really. But yeah, arreglar means to fix, okay? To fix it up. When you add la, you are talking about the house. So that's why it's similar to saying it, okay? It's very similar to saying it. So it can be a pronoun, arreglarla. Just like you say arréglate, okay? Se arregla, me arreglo, te arreglas, okay? It's similar, but not quite. You're using pronouns other than personal pronouns, yo, tú, él, nosotros, ustedes, ellos. But when you say arreglar la, you are just referring to the house. Okay, so when you have it like that, arreglar, and then you add la, that means fix it up. Now, we are saying la because it's a feminine, arreglar la. Okay, so it's similar to saying her, it, but it's feminine. La is feminine. So that's why we have la. You don't need to say para arreglar la casa again at the end because you already said it once. So it's very similar to it, you know, how you use it in Spanish. It's pretty vague, but you don't repeat house all the time in this situation. And that's why we have arreglar la, to fix it up. Excellent. So that's what we have there. Help is not in the sentence because we don't need it. We already established that they're helping you. Okay. Echaron la or una mano. So just remember that we have the phrase here. We have the phrase over here as well. Echar una mano or echar la mano means, you know, to help someone out, to pitch in. That's what it means. And you cannot see the whole thing. I apologize for that. Just let me fix that for you. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions at all? I see some comments. Let's see. What are you saying? Remember that when I'm explaining something, you can ask and I'll get to it. There it is. I have so many layers, guys. So many layers. There you go. Let's see. Hello? Continental. Hello. Me gusta su método de enseñanza. ¿Cómo te llamamos? Sugar Astronaut. You can call me Sugar Astronaut. Thank you and welcome. Leah, because it's like they helped me out. Yeah, exactly. Is this pre-recorded? No, it's not. It's live. I'm reading you. The thing is that sometimes while I'm explaining, you know, the whatever I'm explaining, and then I usually finish explaining one part, in this case this phrase, and then I read what you're saying. So you can ask questions and I'll get to them. I don't think so. She answered my question. What? You can't pre-record lives? No. You can't. You can premiere your videos on YouTube, but you cannot pre-record live streams. Thank you for your comments. Thank you so much. Okay, excellent. Thank you for your comments. Now let's learn the next phrase. We have 5, and this is phrase number 3. Okay, what do we have here? Jugar con fuego. Jugar con fuego. Jugar means to play. Con means with. Fuego means fire. So the literal translation is to play with fire. And it's similar to saying to play with fire. So this is a very literal phrase, and also as an idiom it means to play with fire. So essentially someone is doing something dangerous, just like playing with fire. That's dangerous, literally and figuratively. So Let's look at some examples using jugar con fuego. Jugar con fuego. The first example is estás jugando con fuego. So this is a very simple, nothing too complicated. You're just saying estás jugando con fuego. What does this mean? I know you know. I know you know. This is wrong. Oh boy, you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire, so stop it, right? Para means stop it or stop. Para. I can even add it here. Let's add it at the beginning. Even like, let's have exclamation marks. Para. Para means for also. But when you have it like that as an expression, means stop or stop it. Stop it. Oh my God, sorry. Para. Stop it. Estás jugando con fuego. Okay. So let's break this down. It's very easy. It's not complicated at all. As I said before, para means stop it. Okay? Stop it. Para. Estás with an accent mark because there's one without an accent mark. And it means these. Estas naranjas, these oranges. But when it has the accent mark, it means tú estás, you are. You are, okay? Tú estás, you don't need tú. You can just say estás. Jugando, we have the verb jugar, which means, again, to play. Yo juego, tú juegas, nosotros jugamos, ellos juegan, ellas juegan, and so on. This is an irregular verb, so it has its own conjugation. It has some irregularities, so we have to pay attention to this verb, jugando, jugar. Jugando means playing. That's the gerund of the verb. Con, as I said before, with fuego, el fuego, fuego means fire. Okay, so you're essentially saying to someone, hey, stop doing that. It's dangerous. That's what you're saying. It's very simple. It's very simple. Now let's look at another example using this phrase. María está jugando con fuego al mentirle a su novio. María está jugando con fuego al mentirle a su novio. This means Maria is playing with fire by lying to her boyfriend. So Maria is doing something that she should not be doing because lying is not right. But especially if you're dating someone, if you're married, you should not lie to your partner for sure. Maria, well, that's a name. Maria means Maria. Está, ella está, Maria is. Jugando, we have the phrase right here. Okay, so the verb estar works really well with this phrase. Estoy jugando con fuego. Estás jugando con fuego. Están jugando con fuego. So remember that estar is a very good verb to use with this phrase that we're learning. María está jugando con fuego. María is playing with fire. Okay. Al mentirle, by lying, mentirle a él. You're actually adding the pronoun le. Okay. because you're talking about the boyfriend, and we do that a lot in Spanish. We add pronouns to verbs very often, because if you say al mentir, just mentir, doesn't make sense. You need to add le. So you are lying to your boyfriend, right? So that's why we need le. Al mentirle, al means by in some situations. Al also means to the, or to the, into the, in the, okay? And also by when you're saying, you are playing with fire because you're lying to your boyfriend. So you're explaining the situation here. Al mentirle, by lying le to him, a, to, su means her, and also his. But we're talking about Maria, and that's why we're saying her. Novio, boyfriend. Okay? Boyfriend, novio, novia, girlfriend. Okay? That's the meaning of that word. María está jugando con fuego al mentirle a su novio. Maria is playing with fire by lying to her boyfriend. Okay. I like this. I mean, it's not like I like playing with fire, but this is a common phrase. And, when you use it in a very figuratively way, it's very fun. Especially if you want to warn someone, hey, you are doing something dangerous. So be careful or don't do it. Okay. So this is a great phrase for those situations. Great. Do you have any questions? Any questions at all? Oops. I'm making a mess here. Okay. Let's continue. The next phrase number 4 is espabilarse. Espabilarse. I love this one. Espabilarse. What does this mean? Espabilate. What does this mean? It literally means to wake up. But it also is similar to saying get your act together. Or just wake up, you're kind of lazy, not paying attention. You don't know what you're doing. You need to get your act together. This word is great for those situations when you need to tell someone, hey, get your act together, wake up, just wake up, get your act together. Espabilarse is a verb, so you need to know how to conjugate this verb. And this verb is regular, so that's great. That's great news. You can conjugate this verb in a regular way, so nothing surprising. That's always good. Espabilarse. Now let's look at some examples using this verb. When I say se, espabilar, that's the verb, espabilar. But when you have se, that means that it can be used in a reflexive way. So you need those awesome pronouns, reflexive pronouns, me, te, se, nos, okay? Or in Spain, I believe, is os. So I'm not sure about that one. But, you need reflexive pronouns. You can use this verb with reflexive pronouns. Now let's look at some examples. Espabilense, no sean tan desordenados. Espabilense, no sean están desordenados. So this means get your act together. Don't be so messy, or just wake up, or just, do something about it. I need you to do something about it, and something good. Okay? Espabilense. You can only learn this word right here. Espabilense. You can just say this to someone, and that means, hey, get your act together, man. Okay? So, espabilense, get your act together. No means no, and also means don't. Sean, ellos sean, or in this situation, no sean, you're saying this to a group of people. So don't be, no sean, don't be. Tan means so. Tan rico, so delicious. Tan oscuro, so dark. Tan bonito, so beautiful. Tan desordenados, we're talking. This is an adjective, so you're describing something, describing a noun, describing a situation. So desordenados means disorganized, or also just messy. Espabilense, no sean tan desordenados. Get your act together, wake up, don't be so messy. You have to do something about it. Okay? Now, the next example. Let's look at the second example using espabilarse. Oops. Miguel está tratando de espabilarse y mejorar en todos los aspectos de su vida. So it's not only about messy rooms, it's also about when a situation is messy, or when your life needs, you just need to get your act together. I don't know, there's no other term that can be very close to espabilarse. Okay? The meaning of this sentence is Miguel is trying to get his act together and do better in all aspects of his life. Miguel means Miguel, okay? Él está, Miguel is tratando. Tratando comes from the verb tratar. Tratar is a very good verb that means quite a few things. It's also a regular verb, and it means to treat or to try. So it's a very good verb. We need to talk about this one in the future. But tratando means trying. Estoy tratando. I'm trying. Okay? Miguel está tratando means Miguel is trying. When you say tratar de, you use the verb tratar, and de, that means you're trying, but you're adding something else to the sentence. Miguel is trying de, it's like saying trying to. Okay? Espabilarse. And we need the pronoun, reflexive pronoun. We have it here as well. So keep that in mind. De espabilarse, or espabilarse, just that term, get his act together. And mejorar. Mejorar means to improve or do better. to do better. Mejorar. That's another great verb that we need to talk about in the future. Mejorar. To do better. Do better. En means in. Todos, all. Los, the, technically. Aspectos, los aspectos, aspects. De, of. Su, do you remember this? I mentioned it before when we were talking about the previous phrase, and su means his or her. His. Vida, life. Miguel está tratando de espabilarse y mejorar en todos los aspectos de su vida. Miguel is trying to get his act together and do better in all aspects of his life. Oh boy, oh boy. So remember, espabilarse is very similar to saying get your act together, or to get one's act together, to wake up, just do something about it. You need to wake up, you need to get your act together. Excellent, excellent. Any questions? Any questions? I actually wanted tea, not water. I have some tea. Yeah. That was a good phrase. Very common. Okay. Now, let's learn the last phrase number 5. And let's see what we have. Mantenerse en contacto. I mean, this is a very, very good phrase to use in emails, to tell someone that you want to talk, later on, another day, in the future. This is a great phrase for those situations. And mantenerse en contacto means literally to keep in contact, because contacto means contact. Okay? Contacto means contact, but it also means, in this phrase, the whole phrase means, doesn't mean that. Oops. Nor that. Sorry. Means to stay in touch. Oh my goodness, I have no space. I hope you saw the other phrases, like the whole thing, because I wasn't paying much attention. But mantenerse en contacto means literally to keep in contact. Mantenerse means to keep, to maintain sometimes, to keep. And it also means to hold when you are holding something, to support. It means a bunch of things. Mantener and mantenerse as well. Mantenerse is irregular. It's an irregular verb. And you have to know its conjugation if you want to use this phrase. Mantenerse en contacto is very similar to saying to stay in touch or to keep in touch. Either one, same thing. Okay, so let's look at some examples using this phrase. Mantente en contacto. Easy phrase. Mantente en contacto. You can say this to someone. It's informal, but it's not rude to say this to someone, to a coworker, okay, or someone you want to keep in touch with. And this means stay in touch or keep in touch. Keep in touch. Very, very easy. If you want to have it formal, you can say manténgase. Usted manténgase. Usted manténgase. It's not an easy word to pronounce, but it's not that difficult either. Manténgase. I'm missing the N. What's wrong with me? Manténgase en contacto. Stay in touch. Keep in touch. Manténgase. I don't know why I cannot say it. Manténgase en contacto. I apologize. I apologize. I don't know why that word is a bit challenging for me to pronounce. But my native language is Spanish, so I don't know what's going on. Anyways, let's keep it a bit informal. Mantente en contacto. Mantente en contacto. Stay in touch, keep in touch. So it's very easy. You can use this little phrase to say to someone by email, hey, just keep in touch, right? Or if you can say this to someone as well. And that means, hey, don't be a stranger. Just drop me a line, just let me know how you're doing, right? Or if it's like business, in a business situation, it means keep me updated, or don't disappear. Just let me know what's going on, okay? Now, the next example. Let's look at the next example. Me mantendré en contacto. Les llamaré cada semana. Me mantendré en contacto. Les llamaré cada semana. This means I will keep in touch. I will stay in touch. And also I will call you every week. So this is a great thing to say to someone. For example, you go on a trip somewhere and your parents, tell you, hey, just mantente en contacto, por favor. And you can answer, me mantendré en contacto. Les llamaré cada semana. I will keep in touch. I will call you every week. You can say that I will keep in touch and then change les llamaré cada semana to something else. You can say I'll send you an email. Les mandaré un correo electrónico. So it's up to you what you want to say. I can give you like a couple of examples. We can change this part and change it to something else, something that someone might say. Excellent. Let's break this down really quickly and let's see what this means. Yo me mantendré. We're using this verb, of course, right here as well. Me mantendré. Yo me mantendré. You don't need yo, but you need me. Me mantendré. Remember, we have se. And that means that you can say things like this. Me mantendré. Reflexive pronoun, me. I will. Me mantendré, similar to saying that. But let's not forget that we have the whole package here, the whole phrase. Me mantendré en contacto. I will keep in touch. Me mantendré en contacto. Yo les llamaré. Another pronoun right here. Les llamaré. I will call you. Les means you. Llamaré. Yo llamaré. I will call. Okay? That you don't need yo in the situation. Cada means every. Cada mañana, every morning. Cada semana, every week. Okay? Cada is a very great word that you can use all the time in Spanish. You will use it all the time in Spanish. Me mantendré en contacto. Les llamaré cada semana. Now, keep in mind that the double L in Spanish, llamar, some people pronounce the double L as in like very similar to the letter Y in English, as in yellow, okay? Yellow. Or sometimes it's pronounced as J, the sound J, llamar, llamar, llamar. And if you are in Argentina, then it will be llamar. Not I had some English accent. What the hell? Llamar, llamar. Okay? So it's more like an SH sound. Llamaré, llamaré, or llamaré. Interesting, very interesting. Excellent. Me mantendré en contacto. Les llamaré cada semana. I will keep in touch. I will call you every week. You can change this to te. Well, let's keep les. Okay? You're talking to a group of people. Les mandaré you can say email in Spanish and it's fine, but it's perfect. But you can also say correo. Les mandaré un correo. You can say that. And that is just a term for mail or email message. Okay? Just a message by an email, or just you're sending a letter. But obviously nowadays it means more like an email. I'll send you an email. Les mandaré un correo. You can also, as I said before, you can say les mandaré un email. And that's fine. That's fine. It makes sense. Me mantendré en contacto. Les mandaré un email. That means I will keep in touch. I will send you, or I will email you. Mandar un email. That term means to send an email. So just remember this term. Mandar un email. To send an email. Or just email someone. Now, let's change it to something else. Well, we said llamar, the same thing. Yeah, we already said that. Les mandaré un. Let's change this now to te. So you're sending this to one person. Te is like saying you. It's a reflexive pronoun as well. Te mandaré un. There's different ways to say this. One is mensaje. Mensaje means it means message. But when you say this, usually it means a text message. I'll text you. It's like saying that. Te mandaré un mensaje. But if you want to say the whole thing, te mandaré un mensaje por teléfono. Te mandaré un mensaje por teléfono. This means I'll text you. So I will text you. But usually people say mensaje. So, sometimes, I know that we're talking about cell phones, but nowadays, if you say teléfono, you're referring to a cell phone as well. ¿Cuál es tu teléfono? What's your cell phone number? Pretty much, unless they're very, precise. They're saying home phone or something like that, teléfono de casa, okay? But just the term teléfono means cell phone pretty much. Now, another way to call text in Spanish is mensaje de texto. So this is a very literal translation. I'm missing a no. Te mandaré un mensaje de texto, and we need to capitalize that. Te mandaré un mensaje de texto. I will text you. Okay, so same thing. Some people even say mensajito. That's a very informal but very cute way to call a text message. Te mandaré un mensajito. I will text you. Okay, but this is, use it among friends. It's informal. Let's just leave it as mensaje de texto. Mensaje de texto. The proper term. Te mandaré un mensaje de texto. I will text you. Or I will send you a message, a text. Okay? Texto means text, by the way. It's very similar. The spelling is very similar. So that's it. Do you guys have any questions? Remember, mantenerse en contacto means to keep in touch, to stay in touch. Okay? Don't be a stranger. Excellent. Any questions? Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everything was clear, crystal clear, más claro que el agua. Yeah, it looks like okay. Yeah, I hope you guys saw everything. I was paying attention more to Photoshop than the stream, which is not a good idea because sometimes this can happen. Something like this or this, the text is not in the right area, visible area, but it's all good. It's all good. I think everything was visible. Let's see. Questions. I see Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. Tus explicaciones siempre son más claras que el agua. Remember, you have to match the noun, the gender and quantity. Explicaciones, las explicaciones, feminine and plural. So therefore we need claras. Tus explicaciones siempre son más claras que el agua. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much, Lindsay. Thank you for sharing the example. Thank you so much. Leah, thank you. It's 2 a.m. I need to sleep. Oh my goodness. Wow, it's very late. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you so much, Leah. And have a great night. Lindsay, cuando converso con un hispanohablante, me siento estoy jugando con fuego. I love it. That's a great example. Cuando converso con un hispanohablante, me siento que estoy jugando con fuego. Yeah, it might feel that way, but I don't think it's something dangerous. It's good practice, though. Practice makes perfection. Definitely. So don't feel like you're playing with fire, Lindsay. Thank you again. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Les aprecio mucho. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Los veo la próxima semana. Cuídense. Take care of yourselves. And yeah. Oh, remember, if you like this lesson, please give it a like. That helps me a lot. And dale like in Spanish. Dale like. And also remember that if you want to support the channel a bit more, no pressure though, you can check out the Cafecito membership. You only need to click on the join button down below to read more about the membership. Also, I have a Spanish community on Discord, so if you want to join that, that's for free. You only need to read the rules, and the link to that community is in the video description down below. Also, it's good for practice if you want to practice your Spanish, if you want to ask questions about Spanish, if you want to meet others who are trying to learn Spanish. It's a great community for that, for sure. And I'm part of that community as well. So you can, use the at character and just say at Sugar Astronaut and just ask questions directly to me. Don't private message me because that's one of the rules. You should not do that. It's better to share all the questions that you have, messages, and share everything with everyone. So yeah, read the rules, join for free, and that's it. Take care. I'll see you next week, and thank you for watching. Bye. Hasta luego.